This is why you should start thinking about owning an adjective in the minds of your audience. I'm Simon Mitchell, founder of Social Mavericks, the community helping online fitness professionals turn posts into profits. So, the concept of owning an adjective, what is it? Where does it come from? And how can you utilize this in your business to help you generate more likes, leads, and sales? Well, firstly, the concept comes from a book called Hey Whipple Squeeze This, which, if you're from the UK like me, that means absolutely nothing. But apparently, if you are from the US and of a certain age, it will mean something, apparently. Well, the origins of the book's title are relatively irrelevant right now, so let's focus in on this concept and expand it a little bit further and give you some guidance on how to use it. First of all, let me give you a couple of examples of owning an adjective. If we take the name, the brand, Volvo Cars, what is a word that might spring to mind? Well, it might be something like safe or safety, because over the course of the last few decades, that has been one of the things that has been at the forefront of Volvo's advertising and their marketing and their branding, is focusing in on new safety innovations and their safety rating as a means to differentiate themselves from other vehicle manufacturers. If we then take Apple computers, now you might have many words that come to mind when it comes to Apple computers, and if you're of a certain persuasion, you might have some derogatory words that come to mind, but let's put those biases to one side and focus in on their product line. Well, we only have to look at the original iPod to know that they really came at that problem of trying to help people, store their music, listen to more music, have their music mobile and carry around with them in an innovative way. They came at that with an innovative solution that was super simplistic. The iPod, when it first came out, was very, very simple piece of tech to use. So again, Apple has this user-friendly, this simple approach. And you could say that they occupy the word simple in the minds of people in that sort of technological marketplace. We then take an example like Rolex watches. So Rolex might conjure up words like luxurious, prestigious, things like that. Now, when it comes to product design and product development, Rolex are never going to make a watch like that Casio one from the 80s that was also a calculator. It doesn't fit that prestigious, that luxurious type of brand feel that they are trying to get across. So whether you are consciously aware or unconsciously aware of the word that you're trying to occupy, know that these things do matter. And it's a simple way in which you can start to put a certain feel to your products and services and a certain messaging through your content that's congruent with the type of brand and business that you want to build. So let's look at a few ways in which you can think about this. First of all, start off by listing out some of your competitors. Now, whether you see them as a direct competitor, in terms of having an abundant mindset, you might not think that they're, like direct competition, but that's kind of irrelevant. Who in your mind, like if you put yourself in the mind of your potential customer, what are their options for the type of service that you offer? What are the 5 to 10 products, services, coaches out there that they could start to choose from? Then start to, in your own mind, say, what word do I normally associate with this person's brand? Is it the fact that they're honest? Is it the fact that they keep things simple? Is it the fact that they're super detailed? Is it the fact that they are, really in a different niche to everybody else? And what word kind of would describe that? So you'll have this list of accounts, you'll have these list of words. Then your job is to pick a word that is different from all of those, because trying to compete for the same thing can be difficult unless you're super good at this whole branding thing. So it might be a case that, no one in your particular niche or sub-niche is really focusing in on making things simple in terms of, let's say, nutrition, building muscle, getting fit and things like that. Really, everyone's going down the route of trying to explain things like the mammalian target of rapamycin and leucine thresholds and things like that. They're really disappearing up their own backsides with all of this technical jargon, which actually may be very fair depending on the type of person that you're trying to attract. But let's say the person you're trying to attract is Doris down the road. She's 55 and she just wants to lose a little bit of weight and get a little bit fitter as she gets older. She doesn't really care about the leucine threshold and all that sort of good stuff. She just wants simple information. So now you're trying to occupy this word simple. So when someone like Doris is looking for a coach to help her, she is saying, you know what, this person makes this simple and easy to understand because that's what I'm looking for. So try to match the word that you want to own with what would appeal to your target market. And then comes the important thing. The important thing then is to have that word at the forefront of your mind when it comes to creating content. So if you're creating a carousel, a reel, a YouTube video, a podcast, and your word you're trying to occupy is simple, then of course, you've really got to make the carousel slides simple and easy to understand. You're going to remove all the jargon. You're going to make it not overly detailed, just enough information to get the point across. You see how this could start to influence how you create content and the message that your brand gives off through everything that you do. When it comes to your service, again, make it simple for people to firstly buy the damn thing in the first place, but then also make it simple for them to be coached by you. They're not overwhelmed with tons of information thrown at them all the time. They're not having to track their heart rate variability, their blood pressure, their fasting blood glucose every single day, because for your demographic in this sense, that might be too much, too complicated, and not really very relevant. So again, by owning this adjective, you really start to get a bit of a thread of your branding. And again, there's so many different things that you could and should be doing to build your brand and make it unique and differentiate it from everything else. But this is a good start point. If you have no clue where to start when it comes to branding, do this. Just pick one word and make sure you're hitting the essence of that word in your content, your products, your services, your interactions in your Facebook groups, your interactions with your clients, your messages that you send them, the questions that you answer online, the lives that you do, the podcasts that you record. Make sure that you're always thinking about that one word, and that's the word that you are owning. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully it gave you a little bit of a kickstart when it comes to branding and trying to figure it all out. If it did, feel free, head over to Instagram at I am Simon Mitchell. Check out my content on there where I'm posting daily on carousels, reels, and all various different sorts of things. More and more fitness content creation, insights and tips and tricks and things like that. But for now, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.